Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Everything Made to Love. In today's episode, I'll be doing a series on bubble mailers. So, as you can see here, I have a 3M bubble mailer that is about 6 by 9 inches. And you'll see that I have some craft paper, some bubble mailer inserts, some carbon cardstock. I used a Memory Keepers punch board, but I really used the score part a lot, and we'll get to that. And then I have a Fisker that cuts straight lines for any of us that don't know how to cut straight lines, because I suck at it. But these are the materials that I'm using. So for anybody that has their own business, or like just to send a personalized mailer or envelope in the mail, this is the video for you. As you can see, just to give you some examples, I'm working with the client on their own mailer for their product. And as you can see, it can be lined inside with the bubble tape. They didn't want it lined, but this is another example with the bubble tape, with the bubble plastic inside. And so basically what you need is, again, to use this, I use this as a guide when I'm using my craft paper or cutting out whatever material that I have. You can use any kind. You can use wrapping paper. It's different kinds such as this. The foil, it just really needs to be sturdy enough to do it. So let's kind of jump into it. So the first thing I did was, I know that I really like this 3M, but I'm not paying money for this. So we're going to put that to the side. I cut out the size of the mailer that I want. So I started off by cutting my craft paper. And I got this craft paper actually from the dollar store for $1. And to the size that I wanted it to be. Now, mind you, I'm mimicking the 3M bubble mailer. So for those that are not as visual, I always recommend maybe taking it apart carefully on the sides, or just really looking on the sides and looking all around the envelope to see how it's made, to get an idea of how you want it to be made. It's no right or wrong way. What you want to go for is just basically keeping the package so that it's sealed, and that when you mail it, it's nice and neat on the outside, and you know that it's going to be sturdy on the inside. As long as you get it to that type of quality, I think that you're doing pretty good. So what I did was, again, I mimicked the size that I wanted my mailer to be. And if you lay this beside one another, it's kind of the same thing. Again, my spend a little bit wider. And you can make these as big as you like once you get the hang of it. So I measured the size that I wanted to be. And I measured it so that it would be 2 parts, the same size. So if I measured this block right here, the square, I made sure that the other side matched it. And then I cut one side, which is this side. So you'll notice that this side is longer than this side, because this will be the flap that I use to close it. Then once you get the size, you made your little flap. You want to measure your bubble tape. The bubble tape is what you would place inside of it. And I'm just giving you a rundown of it. So if I'm moving fast, that's only because I want you guys to see kind of how it all plays out together. And then I'll go back through it again and kind of slow it down so you guys can see how the process works. And the final product will be posted afterwards. If you have any questions or you want me to slow it down, we're all learning. Put a comment in the link, and I will also put a link with the items that I use to make this, the cardstock paper that I got. There'll be various kinds of cardstocks. Just as a point, this one right here is acid-free glittery, but you notice how this is very flexible. And you have other kinds of cardstock that's more, that's a little bit more sturdy. And when you fold those, you'll know that you're using the wrong one when you're trying to do mailers, because the actual, when you fold the white pieces will be popping out from the side. So you want to get something very flimsy to use. When you're making boxes, that'll be another episode that I can show you. You want to use something more sturdier in cardstock, not this kind. So now I have, as you can see, 2 pieces of bubble tape cut out the same size. And what you really want to do when you're cutting out your bubble tape is you want to make sure that you're leaving room to fold about 1 inch. So I'm going to cut some more off, 1 inch here and 1 inch around here, because as you can see here, you will need to close it. Now again, it's many ways to do this, and I'm doing this way so that you can see how I replicated the same design and pattern here. Is you want to leave room for your bubble tape to go on each side. So let's cut some off. And I'm going to cut, if you have a mat that has measuring, I'm going to cut about, I know that this is 1 inch off on this side. And some of us strive for perfection, but remember, when you're putting this in, as long as you get it to cover the main side and the inside, no one's going to see it because it's going to be pasted or taped down. So if you can see, and I'll put this here so that you can see it with me holding it. But so if you see here, you'll notice that my bubble tape is not all the way around the edges, meaning it's not come over the side of the edges, but I left room so that I could tape down with using double-sided tape the sides so that my bubble tape will stay onto my craft paper. So I'm going to get some of my double-sided tape, and for this one I'm using the Scott's double-sided tape. Now I also find that there are various double-sided tape. There's also double-sided glue. You just use your preference. You want to make sure that whatever you're using is sturdy. And this works pretty good for this, but for more complex things, I would suggest a more extra strength, maybe adhesive. So again, I know that this is going to be the inside. Anywhere on the inside, you can just post tape pieces of tape. And again, I'm not making it perfect because I want you guys to see it. But then you just place it on here like this, and you can put some more around the edges. I want to move this up some because I want to be able to fold it without a really deep pocket. I don't want the end of my bubble tape to come onto the other side. And if you notice that pieces are coming up, if you know pieces are coming up on the side, you just lift it and you put more tape down. Lift it and put more tape down. Okay. Now we're going to take the same side And I'm going to cut it to the same measurements as this other side of my bubble tape. And I see that that's a little off, so I'm going to cut another inch off the side. I cut another inch off, and I'm going to lay this here. Now I see at the top that's a bit uneven, so I want to even it out so that when I fold it over, it won't be in the way of me closing it. And so again, I'm going to tape it down. Now I'm going to lay it down, and I want it to connect. So you see this is the inside of what it looks like. This is the inside of it. Now I want to align my edges with double-sided tape. And if you have the glue, you can do that. What you can do is also go down to make sure that if you don't have enough space, that you cut around it. And so now I'm going to add some of the double tape to it. And you don't have to take as many pieces as I have. If you have the gun, that you can just roll it down, but I just want to show you visually what this looks like. And then I'm doing the other side. As you can see, side one is done. And I'm working on side two. And now I'm going to fold it over. And lightly spread it, fold it over, and lightly rub down the sides. And again, I can use my punch board score utensils to just go down the line to make sure that it's staying. Use the ends, whatever you have to smooth it out, and use the ends here. And if you see anything that needs to be trimmed off, like I have this piece right here. And the one thing about this double-sided tape is that it's not it doesn't stick like right away. Once you push everything down, that's when it does it. And then voila, you have your own personal mailer. And then you take your double-sided tape and you fold it down. And there you have it. And when you fold it down, if you want to make it even neater, you can take it. And there you have it. You've just made your own personal bubble mailer. And where you spend $5 in this, the products that I use at the dollar store only cost me $2. So this was $2. This was $1. Excuse me. And it came out on this wrap. And the mailer tape that I got was $1. $2 to make your own personalized mailer. Like I said, you can use craft paper. You can even, you know, print your paper out maybe. You can use a printer and measure out your packages and maybe print out your paper from there and personalize it. But there's so many different things that you can do. And I wanted to show this because this saves a lot of money for people that are just getting started and kind of like want to do things in-house to see how the process goes in business. I know for myself and sending things out, I like to try to minimize the cost that I'm using. Of course, this takes a lot of time. If you're just starting, it's a way to get your products out in a professional way. So it's not costing a lot until you can outsource your packaging to someone that can do it the right way or do it how you want to do it. And you can spend the rest of your money investing into your products. So again, this is Everything Made to Love. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Subscribe, put your comments below if I can do anything better. Again, this is all in learning. I love to teach. I love to share. I love to sew, create, anything that I can put my hands on. I love to just try it and do it. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to my channel, Everything Made to Love. Have a good one, guys.